decided to deal with the blues this afternoon,
And in their master classes, like this one at the University of Iowa, they help teach self-expression through improvisation. The class begins with the students learning the blues scale. After that, they're on their own.
We have great fun as the string quartet, working with string players and having them, take away the page and having them stand on their own, and then, oh my God, what am I going to do now? But we need more of your personality in the music, in this form, okay? So you could be thinking about, some woman who didn't go out with you or something. Oh, man.
They're always very frightened to break down. It's that fear of doing something you've never done before. And then I watch the students, well, if one can do it, well, maybe I can do it, well, then maybe I can do it. It's not about the mistakes. It's not about playing perfectly, It's about trying.
right, that's it.
That's something these musicians know all about. When Diane Munro and Lisa Terry and Eileen Folsom and Maxine Roach first got together, they left behind one tradition to explore another. And in doing so, the Uptown String Quartet may have just proved something. It don't mean a thing if the strings ain't got that swing.
We'll be moving on to the anguish of Israel, for one thing, and then to a story from Bill Geist about a craftsman who makes evening bags, believe it or not. What these bags were before they became bags, you will have an even harder time believing, we think. Sunday morning, we'll continue.
What are people saying about the new CBS This Morning? The Boston Globe, an excellent newsmaking show. The Detroit Free Press, an opportunity to watch a live show without having to stand outside a picture window. And the New York Daily News. The studio audience wakes up morning. Join the crowd. Watch the new CBS This Morning.
You're on CBS.
Nobody brings you the flavor of the holidays like Western Family. Western Family, the quality brand of the West.
No matter what the weather's like outside, the Coat Rack has the perfect coat to fit your needs. And you save at the Coat Rack because their prices are low every day of the week. It's quality and selection at a great low price. Coats for the whole family at the Coat Rack. Cascade Plaza in Beaverton, across from Washington Square.
High School Pharmacy, a name that you can trust.
Fuji Quick Snap Flash Camera and 4-pack film are just $9.99 each. Buy any two and take home these adorable stuffed bears. And stock up now on holiday essentials. Clio box cards with envelopes are 50% off, and Clio 3-roll gift wrap is only $2.99.
High School Pharmacy, we're your neighborhood variety store.
Shirley Hancock, News Center 6.
When Sunday morning continues, we will talk with Bob Schieffer in Washington about the mess in Washington.
When it comes to mutual funds, it's often hard to tell what you're looking at. Is this one better? Or this one? Schwab makes finding funds that may be right for you easy with the Select List. Each quarter, we analyze the more than 350 no-load funds we provide. based on data from Morningstar, to give you a summary of the historically high performers. For a free trial subscription, call 1-800-5-NO-LOAD and see if it doesn't help bring things into focus.
It looks great. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Take care.
Aloha.
Bye-bye.
Do you find technology amazing or frightening? At GTE, we think it should make your life easier. Like video conferencing. Doug Githens used it today to meet with investors in Honolulu from his office in Santa Monica, which he finds pretty amazing. Why? Because he's not having dinner on a plane right now. Amazing.
As the official airline of the 1996 Olympic Games, Delta has created an event just for business travelers, the International Dash. With 4,900 daily flights to 300 cities, we'll fly you to the business world with a schedule that's as full as yours. And we don't do it so we can finish first. We do it so you can. Delta Airlines.
It's Sunday morning on CBS. And here again is Charles Osgood.
And from Washington, CBS News Chief Washington correspondent Bob Schieffer joins us now. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Charles.
Well, Bob, the president has another budget resolving resolution before him that he can sign if he wants to. But any chance of that?
Well, we're going to find out right after your broadcast when Face the Nation comes on, Charles. I don't want this to sound like a commercial for Face the Nation, but it is. The White House Chief of Staff, Leon Panetta, has agreed to come by, and so we will get the first White House reaction, we hope, on this proposal that the Republican leaders in Congress made last night. Their compromise, as I understand it, is the president would have to agree to a 7-year balanced budget plan. He would also have to base that plan on the Congressional Budget Office economic forecast. Now, up until now, he has refused to use the Congressional Budget Office forecast, but we understand as part of this compromise, Republican leaders say before their Congressional Budget Office issues any forecast, they will consult with the White House economists. So this is a little bit different. It looks to me as if there's some way for a compromise to be made here. Frankly, Charles, both sides in this, I think, have had enough of it. This can't go on, keeping the government shut down. Just in Washington here, for example, small businesses are dying. We hear interviews with people who own businesses in the downtown area where all these government workers have been furloughed. Their business is off 50 or 75%. This is going to spread out across the country if this keeps going on. I think both sides realize this. I think they're anxious to get this over now.
But you hear people say that this is just a frivolous political posturing for next year's election. Is that what it is, Bob, or is there something more fundamental in that going on here?
I think it is, on the one hand, quite frivolous. I think you have it's taken on almost an adolescent tone on both sides. But that is only one part of it. At the very bottom, there are some very serious issues to be discussed here, and it is, the president said yesterday, it really has a lot to do with the direction the government is going to take. What this fractiousness that you're seeing right now reflects, I think, is a great division in the country. People in the last election sent a lot of Republicans to Congress with the orders to cut taxes and cut government spending, and that's exactly what they've come here to try to do. But at the same time, there's a large segment of the American society that says, while we want to cut taxes, while we want to cut spending, we don't necessarily want to cut government services. So that's the problem that these two sides are trying to resolve. It's like one of the truest things that was ever said to me in Washington, Charles, years ago when I was covering the Pentagon. Melvin Laird was the Secretary of Defense. And he said to me one day, you know, Bob, everybody wants to cut government, everybody wants to cut defense spending. Everybody wants to cut the Pentagon budget. They just don't want to close that base in their hometown. That's what's going on here.
But in fact, you cannot have it both ways, can you?
No, but I think that's what Congress is trying to work out. Because people are telling them on one hand, we don't want to cut Medicare, we don't want to cut these government programs, but they're saying, on the other hand, we do want to cut government spending.
Now, is there some temptation on the president's part? He reads the polls, and he sees that his popularity seems to have risen during this. And as long as this is happening, why not just hold out?
Well, I think in the beginning of this, there's no question that that was a factor. The White House had polls showing that the president's popularity was going up, that people were blaming Republicans for this. I think those polls have begun to change a little bit now. I think what those polls are beginning to show now is that people are getting fed up with both sides and want this to come to an end. Both sides are dropping. So if there's any kind of motivation to get this thing wound up, when it comes to politicians, that's a great motivation. And we'll learn a little bit more about that from Mr. Panetta, and as you have him as your guest on Face the Nation coming right up. And also the chairman of the Republican Budget Committee, Pete Domenici, who is one of the authors, one of the chief architects of this new compromise. He'll also be here, as will John Breaux, the Democratic senator from Louisiana, who's been acting as a go-between. We should know a lot more about this in about a half hour, I think. Thanks very much, Bob. You bet. Bob Schieffer in Washington. In Israel, too, there is trouble just now of a much deeper kind. Bob Simon will tell us something about that when Sunday Morning returns.
At BASF, we don't make the mattress, we make it softer. We don't make the boots, we make them drier. We don't make the house, we make it livelier. We don't make the snowboard, we make it stronger. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
In shopping for a luxury performance sedan, Jay Kerness tested the Oldsmobile LSS against the fastest, most nimble machine on Earth, Juma, the Cheetah. The LSS's sports suspension and traction control attacked the course, as did the Cheetah. But while he considered the LSS's precise handling quite impressive, there was one thing he failed to consider. Cheetahs are very sore losers. Will the LSS pass your test? Nice kitty. Go away.
Mortgage payments, college tuition, career choices. People can get so lost in their day-to-day concerns that they simply avoid planning for their retirement. Unfortunately, that's life. New York Life has all kinds of life insurance policies to help make sure you enjoy your retirement. We can even help you catch up if you started planning late. That's New York Life, the company you keep.
Thanks to Sprint Business, now the world is flat. Introducing flat rate pricing for small businesses on all your long distance, even for Sprint 800 service. Enhanced facts and cellular long distance. One low flat rate for everything, all over the country, so you know just what you're paying.
Now that's simple.
Call now for flat rate pricing. 1-800-827-3700. Call Sprint Business.
The man who took our leader from us with a gun in 1963 was a loner, a shadowy figure not much illuminated even by 2 decades of the spotlights of inquiry. Lee Harvey Oswald never did seem one of us, really. Israel's leader fell to an assassin too 2 weeks ago. That was shock enough, but other waves of shock have come to Israel now, where over and over again people have watched their leader's murder reenacted. Thursday night, Israeli police took the assassin back to the murder scene. As Bob Simon is about to tell us, the more Israelis learn about him, the more deeply shocked they feel.
He was a good student. He was a good soldier. He was a good friend.
Lovely boy. Friendly, helpful, serious learning. Good boy.
He has a good sense of humor, so he had a lot of friends.
Are they talking about one of the best and the brightest? About the boy pegged by teachers and friends as most likely to succeed? Yes, they're talking about Yigal Amir. Rabin's assassin is no wild weed growing on the fringes of the West Bank settler movement. He comes from the heart of the country, Herzliya, a middle-class Tel Aviv suburb, and from the heart of the religious Zionist movement.
I definitely feel that this murderer came from our group, definitely.
We do belong to the same group.
because we pray the same prayers and we do the same religious ceremonies and everything.
Amir spent 5 years at the cream of Israel's religious academies, the school that routinely churns out generals, judges, doctors, rabbis. He did his military service in the elite Golani Brigade, in a company that proudly called itself the Cool Ones. Amir loved the army. He enrolled in the law school of Bar-Ilan University, which accepts 1 out of 450 applicants. His extracurricular activities? Courses in the Computer Science School and in the Institute for Advanced Torah Studies.
No Freudian analysis will help here. This is not an aberration. This is not a kid who's a monster, who grew up with violence. This is a kid who was educated with the best of the Jewish tradition. That means that something went wrong in the Jewish tradition.
Rabbi David Hartman, philosopher, teacher, religious Zionist, believes that, ironically, the tradition went wrong in the very place where Judaism began. Yigal Amir may come from Israel's heartland, but the heart of the problem is here on the west bank of the Jordan, the biblical Judea and Samaria. When Israel conquered the territory in 1967, religious Zionists believed the victory was engineered less by Yitzhak Rabin's army than by the hand of God. What was for secular Israelis a stunning military triumph became for many observant Jews a sign that redemption was at hand, the Messiah on his way. This was, after all, the place where Abraham made his covenant with God. What they, the sons of Abraham, had to do was settle the land, revere it, hold on to it. Their theme song, "This land is my land, this land is my land."
Look, Dal, my family, my grandfathers and great-grandfathers and great-great-great-grandfathers lived here much before Fatima's and Jamil's, I'll tell you that much.
It was one minor inconvenience. More than 1 million Palestinian Arabs also lived here. For most of the religious Zionists, this was unfortunate but tolerable, as long as the land was ruled by Israel. But then 3 years ago, Israelis voted in a government willing to trade sacred land for peace. All of a sudden, the enemy was no longer the Arab, but the Jew. And not just any Jew, but the man elected to lead the country.
And if you educated in that perspective, and to see all of the future of history hanging on your own sovereignty on the whole land, and here comes a man who says, I'm offering peace, a way of living with the Arab world, but it's going to require territorial compromise. It's going to require giving up the grandiose ideas that have shaped you in the past. Can you live with this?
No, you can't. Not if you believe your salvation is tied up in the land, you can't. And these people waged their war against the government, brandishing the banner of Zionism. How did the secular Zionists fight back? They didn't really. They'd gone to the shopping mall, to the discotheque. They'd gone American. The religious Zionists had the field to themselves, and new underground groups were sprouting up, groups like Ayal. At an induction ceremony 6 weeks ago, recruits swore to fight the government till their last breath. A charter member of Ayal was Yigal Amir.
I think they just got carried away too much. Speaking about God, speaking about Messiah, like it's in their pockets. They know everything.
No community in Israel has been more traumatized by the assassination than the religious Zionists. They cannot escape the fact that Yigal Amir did what he did, quoting the Bible, defending the land of Israel. Are they searching their souls? That would be an understatement. At the yeshiva where he studied, at Bar-Ilan University, in Rabbi Hartman's Institute, a landmark of religious Zionism in Jerusalem. The point is that 8 people have been arrested in the last week, and they're all guys in their 20s wearing kippahs, just like you.
For 16 years now, I've been wearing a kippah, yarmulke on my head. I never really thought of what it meant, but after suddenly the murder, people start blaming you. It's like, you, the one with the kippah, you're the one who murdered Yitzhak Rabin.
We can't count on miracles, and we can't keep all of the land of Israel and just wait for God to say, okay, no more wars. We have to do whatever we can to achieve peace.
That view is not shared by all religious Zionists. It's not shared by the militant settlers of Tapua. They still think the land is holier than peace or human life. And their new saint is named Yigal Amir.
I think he is a righteous man. I think he did what he believed in. I think he did what the Torah law demanded that needed to be done.
But we have to wake up to that the Jewish tradition is not a fiddler on the roof sentimentality. The tradition left alone could create barbarism. This is what I'm saying, and I'm saying it responsibly. The tradition left alone could legitimate violence for the sake of an uninterpreted word of God.
In this time of soul-searching, Israelis can remind themselves of what has been accomplished. There's peace with Egypt and Jordan. There's the promise of peace with the Palestinians and perhaps even with Syria. In fact, the only irreconcilable conflict in the Middle East right now might be the war between the Jews.
You have to look for that idea that excites you. For example, I started thinking, let's make food be fresher, as fresh as it used to be when I was a kid. What we're working on will allow food processors to track the food as it moves along. Such a machine is in our future. DuPont allows its people the freedom to go after hunches. The idea simmers, the idea percolates. Fresh food. There's nothing artificial about a moment of inspiration.
Tonight, the residents of Covington Point will consume 542,000 watt-hours of energy, all generously supplied by a highly efficient new power plant. The incredibly smooth 260 horsepower 1996 LS400. Unthinkable, except by Lexus.
This is the future of corporate computing. No, wait. This is. Oops, sorry, scratch that. The future is definitely this. On second thought, it'll be this, we think. There are many visions of the future. Most will turn out not to be right. But we engineer our network systems in anticipation of uncertainty. So no matter which way it all goes, you can't go wrong. Digital, whatever it takes.
Take one egg now. It is still true that you cannot make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. The fellow Bill Geist would like us to meet comes pretty close, though. But then he doesn't start with a sow's ear.
Cajun country, where everything is a little different. The View.
We have an alligator and andouille sauce piquant here.
The food.
Boy, doesn't that
And the
look
gators
fun.
don't mind? They don't take it out on you later?
That's right. They don't.
The music. And the people. Take Alex Caldwell from down in Maurice, Louisiana. He's different.
Let me get these.
Alex is currently very big in the egg business. Well, the eggs are big anyway. Can't get them in the grocery store.
That bird acts like she's got one up here.
Oh, okay. Let's go see.
Alex got some the other day from Fred Bass. Fred's different too. So are his eggs.
They make a great omelet. But don't try to eat one by yourself.
These big eggs are those of the rhea bird.
They're sometimes called the South American ostrich.
His boots are rhea too.
I tell the birds it's ostrich boot.
You must be one of the few people around who has a pair of those.
There's not many of them around. Right.
Two. A left and a right.
A left and a right.
The rhea is a rare bird, like Alex and Fred.
So how many eggs do you think you're going to need this year?
I'll probably take about 500 this year. And,
Alex has the big idea of buying the eggs, marking them up, about 10,000%, and selling them to city slickers as handbags. That's different.
10 years ago, if I'd come in here and told
His business partner, Vivian Toulos, wasn't thoroughly convinced.
I would have said you're kind of nuts. When Alec first said we were going to make purses out of eggs, even though we had been working with eggs for several years, I thought, okay, but I don't think it's going to work, you know.
And this is world headquarters.
World headquarters.
Famous handbags.
For Vivian Alexander right here. So we're...
I'm excited. Faxes come in right by the
Come
refrigerator.
on in, let me show you my vast office here.
Alex sat down in his mobile home there on the bank of the bayou, picked up the phone, and began telling fashion experts all over the world about his different idea.
So if you'll go out and sell some eggs, I'd appreciate it.
And the fashion industry being what it is, also a little different, the buyers in New York were interested in eggs as purses.
Right. These are the ones we brought over from Covington.
Alex figured he'd better gussy up the eggs for their trip to the big city.
They look pretty nice.
These have already been cleaned out.
This is his recipe for an egg purse. Take 1 egg, extra large. Roll it in gold. You know the one about the goose that laid the golden egg? Well, it probably wasn't gold when she laid it.
This is as close to pure gold as you can get without going to Fort Knox. This is pure gold.
Slice it. Add some extra ingredients. Bake at low heat and serve them up. Even Alex was surprised at how well they turned out. He'd taken an egg and created a gourmet souffle.
People are always surprised to find out that that kind of quality and that type of goods are made in southern Louisiana.
New York City.
Well, it's a pretty fancy place, Alec.
Oh, I know it.
You're in some good neighborhoods here.
This is a long ways from Maurice, Louisiana, I can tell you.
Wow.
This is a beautiful window they have set up here. This is one of the finest ones I've seen.
There you go.
Right, this is one of our eggs here.
Alex was like a proud father, seeing his Louisiana eggs in such fashionable company.
It's a very striking, the patent leather look of this, and this will go with everything. And,
an egg that goes with everything.
Isn't that something?
Does some people have more than one?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yes. People collect them. Mm-hmm.
Princess Martha Kropotkin, who lives just up Park Avenue, already has 4.
And where have you worn these?
Well, I took this one when I went to Marrakesh in May, and this one I've taken to a very big party in Palm Beach.
Wouldn't take that in the subway.
No. No, but then I don't
No, you
manage.
probably haven't been in the subway for a while.
No, that's true. I don't
Great.
do that.
At Park Avenue prices of $1,000 to $2,000, the purses are referred to here not as handbags, but rather minaudières.
If someone was thinking of getting them, aren't there drawbacks to having a purse so
Anyone
small?
who owns this would never be practical.
Alex's eggs are now being snapped up everywhere from Rodeo Drive to the boutiques of Paris. Alex feels that a woman can never have too many egg purses, and Harriet Gertner, a Houston socialite, agrees.
Okay.
How many of these do you have?
I think 13.
13?
They always say, is that really a real egg? And I'll go, absolutely.
But they have trouble believing that, don't they?
Well,
I
yeah,
do.
it's a rhea, you know, which is
Yeah.
in the ostrich family.
Have you ever met a rhea?
No, but I would love to see one because they've done so many nice things for me. And
There's a lot of stuff in here. Well, what all do you have in
well,
here? We
you'd
didn't
be
think
so-
these things would hold anything.
No, they held everything. Look,
Yeah.
I've got lipstick. Look,
Let's
even
just
with
get
the
all
mirror.
this stuff out here.
All right.
This is phenomenal. You've
And
done great
breath spray.
Breath spray.
Dental floss.
Dental floss. This is your house key.
House key. Lip pencil. Even a pen. Eyebrow pencil. And I've even got more.
Look, this all came out of that little egg.
And so it's practical.
What gave you the idea that this was actually going to work? That people were going to buy eggs?
Just a gut feeling, Bill.
Thought you had hold of a crazy notion. That,
The people, you're going to do what? You're going to make a purse out of an egg? You got to be crazy.
So what's your response to that?
I just smile.
What's amazing about technology?
I think you could run to the store for me.
At GTE, we think it's how it can make your life easier. Like Telego service.
Ice cream?
The world's first cordless phone you can take just about anywhere.
Your pocket's ringing.
Even an all-night grocery store in Tampa, which David King finds pretty amazing.
Do you have any sauerkraut?
Why? Because he won't have to make another trip to the store tonight. Amazing.
Let me guess. One side of you craves easy chair comfort, while the other side itches for performance, right? Well, meet Buick Regal with its famous 3800 V6 engine and Grand Touring suspension. Add to that an all-new interior with body-sensitive seats. And finally, there's a car for the two of you. Buick Regal.
Who says the world has changed? Summer is still way too short. The first day of school is still way too long. But somehow, it's not so bad when you have your favorite bologna sandwich. Oscar Mayer.
You got bologna? Me too.
Quality beef, no fillers. Shouldn't your kids grow up with Oscar Mayer?
When we heard there's a hot cereal with crunch, we said great. But how? Then we tried grape nuts cooked hot. Just add milk and pop it in the microwave.
60 seconds for a little crunch.
I want a big crunch.
30 seconds for a big crunch.
We thought all hot cereals were the same.
Mushy.
Yeah.
But not grape nuts cooked hot. All that warm goodness plus that hearty, nutty crunch make it taste so different, so good, so...
Now Mom's getting mushy.
Yeah.
Discover Grape Nut cereal cooked hot. Finally, a hot cereal with crunch.
On 60 Minutes this evening, Leslie Stahl talks with Eloise Anderson, who grew up poor, currently heads California's welfare system, and wants to abolish welfare. A fascinating conversation. You can tune in this evening on CBS. When our trumpet sounds again next week, it will be followed by the bang of a gavel, knocking down a couple of $100 million worth of art. Come spend a little time in the heady world of the high-stakes auction. We leave you this morning in the panhandle of Texas, not far from Amarillo. We leave you with a Thanksgiving Day parade just forming up. No floats in this parade, if that is what you were expecting. The spectators hereabouts mostly have horns, and the participants all wear feathers. I'm Charles Osgood. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving holiday and join us here again next Sunday morning. Until then, I'll see you on the radio.
For a printed transcript, send $5 to Sunday Morning Transcript, Box 7, Livingston, New Jersey, 07039. For a video cassette of selected segments of This Sunday Morning, call 1-800-242-7747.
CBS News. Have you seen your country today?
The budget fight, what's next, and how will it affect election politics? White House Chief of Staff Panetta and Senators Domenici, Breaux, and Graham face the nation today.
Eloise Anderson on welfare. Get rid of it. Can anybody really get rid of it? If anybody can, she can. How so? Watch 60 Minutes tonight.
It'll save a tremendous amount of money. 95 Tauruses loaded with almost every conceivable option are just $13,995. Standard 95 Aerostar 4x4s are just $19,995. We stock Oregon's largest selection of programmed Fords and Mercurys.
I think we'll take this one.
So come see us at Newburgh Ford, just west of Tigard, where you'll save money every day.
Amongst the smoldering ashes of the Northwest charred public forest lies a tragic lesson. Much of the destruction caused by last summer's wildfires could have been prevented had foresters been allowed to thin dead and diseased stands. But now is the time to do the right thing, to begin the restoration and salvage work critical to the recovery of your scorched public forests. We must act quickly if we're to salvage the burned timber for wood products instead of letting it decay. Don't let burned trees rot and go to waste. It's time to do the right thing. A message from your local forest products companies.